Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna. Thank you everyone so much for being here. Thanksgiving Day weekend, amazing. Oh, Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for being here. So actually, today Jagannath Priya is going to speak, and he called me last night, and he has to fly to help a devotee who's having an emergency. So I was going to speak, but then someone very, very special agreed to speak, which made me extremely happy. He happens, this is a surprise, drum roll, who is going to be the speaker today, Manohara! So it's so funny because we were at this other program, Soul Talks, last night. I was giving the talk, and Jagannath Priya was like, well, why don't you ask Manohara? And I said, well, I really don't want to make him feel like I'm asking him last minute, so I'll just give the talk. But then we got into conversation, and I mentioned that. He was like, oh, actually, it'd be okay. So this is wonderful. And we didn't get time to have any kind of, I don't have your formal bio, so I'm just going to share my heart with you all for a moment. I don't know the date that he was born. I don't even know where you were born. Where you were born?
He is unborn.
Oh, that's right.
Unborn.
He's unborn. He's eternal. Yes, the soul cannot be moved by the wind or burned by fire anyways. So he was born in Hawaii. But I've actually known him since Florida at Krishna House some years back. He joined at Krishna House and quickly became one of the most beloved people at Krishna House. And actually he was known, you might not know this, but we had a whole joke at Krishna House that his name used to be Max the Guru, because he would go to the where they served the lunch every day for the students, and his service was to give drinks to the students, like not alcoholic drinks, but like soda drinks or whatever drinks you had, tea and herbal tea. And he would bring his ukulele, and he would make best friends with everyone. And next thing you know, there would be this like crowd of students coming to Baksha Max to the Krishna House, and he would be showing them. They would be doing spontaneous kirtan in the Tulsi House, and just everybody loved him so much. And I also adopted him as my adopted son at that time, which he remains to be to this day. And he is a initiated disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami. And actually, I was here in the room when he told Radhanath Swami that he was planning on moving here to New York. And Radhanath Swami said, I pay my obeisances to the lotus feet of your decision. So he was very, very happy that he moved to Bhakti Center. And since being at Bhakti Center, he is just so steady at the morning program every single day, also leading the morning program, giving beautiful morning classes, chanting so sincerely, and just spreading love to everyone that he meets, and doing a lot of outreach initiatives like the Soul Talks and community groups here at Bhakti Center, and staying in the men's ashram. So we are just so fortunate to know him and to hear from him today. He's going to speak about gratitude in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
All right. Okay. Well, Thank you everyone thank you everyone for coming. I am very much grateful for such a purifying introduction. It was so humbling and embarrassing in a very sweet, sweet way, which only a motherly character can do. So thank you so much for that. Just apologizing for all those who were planning to come and see Jagannath Prabhu, a extremely much more qualified speaker than myself, but I am nonetheless grateful for this opportunity to attempt to glorify Krishna in this talk. So I believe we can start with our invocation prayers. Let's do the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, then we can go and call response from there. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nastapaya Subhadrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamastoke Bhakti Bhagavati Naishtaki. Alright, so I'll also read the English translations because I find that very helpful for myself. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer their respectful obeisances to the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. I'd also like to offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and his sincere followers, by whose grace we have access to this divine wisdom. Also, by regular attendance on classes on the Srimad Bhagavatam, all that is troublesome to the heart becomes almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Okay. So today, I'm thinking we can kind of have more of a relishing opportunity, kind of like a little bit engaging for everyone. So today, with this mood of gratitude in the Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm thinking we can focus, maybe we have some batteries for this mic. It's having some issues. It's gone into ecstasy. We can focus on a few instances in the Srimad Bhagavatam around gratitude, since our topic today is gratitude in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And so to make it very easy on myself, I decided to continue with where we are at in the morning classes, which is a pastime all around gratitude, about Sudama Brahmana and Krishna. And so recently Jagannath Priya and Jainitai this morning just gave very wonderful classes, so hopefully I can draw from that and they can be here in presence in that way. So without further ado, let us begin from 10th canto, chapter 81, text 35. I will attempt to read the Sanskrit. Please bear my Sanskrit. Kinchin koretya u apiyat swadatatam surhit kritam phal api burikari maya panitam pritukaiki mustik pratyagrahit pritiyatu mahatma. Translation. The Lord considers even his greatest benedictions to be insignificant, while he magnifies even a small service. Haribol. Okay, nice. Like Jainitai magnifying the service of the voice. Oh, it's okay. So the Lord considers even the greatest benedictions to be insignificant. His giving of greatest benedictions, while he magnifies even a small service rendered to him by his well-wishing devotee. Thus, with pleasure, the Supreme Lord accepted a single palmful of flat rice I brought him. So this is Sudama Brahmana speaking thus, and we'll get into a little bit more about that context. In fact, we'll read from the purport from the previous text, which really helps churn the sweet flavor of what's going on in this pastime. So purport for text 34. Sri Krishna is Buri Boja, the unlimited enjoyer. He did not tell Sudama how he was going to fulfill his unspoken request, because according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he was thinking at that time as follows: my dear friend has given me these grains of rice, which are greater than all the treasures I own. Even though in his own house he had no such gift to bring me, he took the trouble of begging it from a neighbor. Therefore, it is only proper that I give him something more valuable than all my possessions. But nothing is equal to or greater than what I possess. So all I can do is give him such meager things as the treasures of Indra, Brahma, and other demigods. End quote. Embarrassed at being unable to properly reciprocate with his devotees' offering, Lord Krishna bestowed his favor on the Brahmana silently. The Lord acted just like a magnanimous rain cloud, which provides the necessities of life for everyone, near and far, but feels ashamed that its rain is too insignificant a gift to give in return for the abundant offerings that farmers make to it. Out of shame, the cloud may wait until nighttime, when the farmers are asleep, before watering their fields. Storehouse. So before I go any further, I'd like to offer some invocation prayers, and then we can attempt to speak something on this transcendental wisdom text. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Idam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Vijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam bhangeda yate girim yakripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. By the mercy of Guru, which is the mercy of Radha Krishna, even a lame man can cross mountains. Even a dumb man can speak eloquent poetry. And even a blind man can see the farthest stars in the sky. Okay, so we'll go ahead and read the translation again. The Lord considers even his greatest benedictions to be insignificant, while he magnifies even a small service rendered to him by his well-wishing devotee. Thus, with pleasure, the Supreme Soul accepted a single palmful of flat rice that I brought in. So to begin today's class, I was thinking of defining what gratitude means in the Vedic or Sanskrit terminology. Who has heard of the term Kshetragya? Kshetragya. Kshetra means activity. You may have heard of Kuru Kshetra. So it's the battlefield of the Kurus. And so Kuru is that family lineage. And Kshetra means place of work, place of action. In this case, Kurukshetra is a place of battle. Also where they would do different yagas and ceremonies, a place of activity. In Gya, like Gyan, means knowledge. Means wisdom. So when you put these terms together, Kshetra Gya, it means to know what has been done. To know what has been given. This is explained, I believe, by His Holiness Sri Dayananda Swami, that this is the Vedic parallel of gratitude. To know what someone has done for us. To know what has been given. Some things we may not be able to fully appreciate until we hear how much they've done in sacrifice to give us this offering. Of course, it's an easy example for us to apply that to Srila Prabhupada. We may appreciate this Krishna consciousness to some extent, this movement, this practice, this bhakti yoga, this philosophy. But how much more can that appreciation intensify when we hear everything that he went through just to share this message of Krishna consciousness? At already being at a perfected level of his spiritual practice, coming in old age, in poor health, at 69 years old, having his 70th birthday alone on a cargo ship, suffering 2 heart attacks, giving up everything that he knew before to follow the instruction of his spiritual master out of compassion for all living entities. Just even that morsel of knowing what has been done can intensify our appreciation for what we have been given. What to speak about all the other pastimes that are nicely spoken about in Srila Prabhupada Leela Mrita, Srila Prabhupada's biography. And all those things that we aren't aware of, that things that aren't logged there, those things that he's still doing through either his direct interactions or through his representatives, through his books. So many stories we hear in book distribution of how just receiving a book can change someone's life. And I am a personal example of that, having received his book. and having that changed mind or course of existence. So this term chitra gya, knowing what has been done, it is the first principle to developing gratitude for something or for someone, to know what they have done for us. So now taking this principle, having defined gratitude, let us pull out some instances in the Srimad Bhagavatam where there is great gratitude expressed, gratitude in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So who can tell us a pastime or a lila or an instance where there was great gratitude expressed in the Srimad Bhagavatam?
Krishna says, "Na parayaham." He says that to the gopis who have left everything and who have run away from their home, sacrificing their social place in society, literally everything. And Krishna feels so grateful to them that he says, "I cannot repay you." He says, "There's nothing that I can give you. There's nothing." Krishna is God, and there's nothing that Krishna can give them to reciprocate with their love. So he says, so the only thing that I can give you is myself and my love. So please be satisfied with my love for you.
Haribol. I was hoping we would start more with like.
It's not my style.
Thought you would go for like Dhruva or maybe the Vijetas. Yes. No, that was super excellent. And I was hoping to get there a little bit further in the talk. Yeah.
Ruined your whole talk.
No. It's it's a lot. It's sweet at every end. Wow. Yes. It really puts in perspective what is valuable, right? Because we can have celestial jewels, we could have such nice living accommodations, planets, universes, all of the mystic powers. And Krishna has the ability, we've seen in so many pastimes, that he can give these benedictions. He can give that easily. Yet, although he is that supreme person filled with all opulences, he is feeling so indebted that he just says, I can't reciprocate. Anything I give cannot compare to the value, the worth of the love and affection that you are offering me. Us helping us understand and put in perspective that intense appreciation of the residents of Vrindavan, I'm hoping to get to this at the end, but we'll sneak peek. That intense appreciation, oh thank you, I was hoping to relish this, so very nice. That intense appreciation of the residents of Vrindavan is the highest value in existence. There is nothing comparable. So thank you for mentioning that pastime. Are there any other pastimes of intense gratitude that we can think of?
A little more mundane. Hi, Mom. I'm very grateful to you. Somehow the first thing that came to mind was Queen Kunti and her prayers at the beginning of the Bhagavatam. Yeah. And her mood is expressing gratitude and also she's so grateful just to have Krishna's Sangha and association that she's even willing to pray for difficulties in life, She sees even that he's more present when there are difficult times, but she's expressing gratitude for everything he's done for her and her family.
Yes, excellent example. Queen Kunti in first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, expressing her prayers to Krishna as he's leaving. I was also hoping to mention this point a little later, but it's perfectly placed here that.
You have to tell us which ones you want us to say.
Yeah. Say Dhruva Maharaj. This idea that whether we are in happiness or in distress, that intense gratitude can bring a sense of satisfaction, of contentment. I was speaking with Satyaraj Prabhu just before this idea that even if everything in this relative world is absolutely perfect, to the T, I am in perfect health, I have, the perfect career, everyone treats me nicely, everyone in the world loves me.
What planet is this?
One that doesn't exist. Just even if such a scenario were to arise, there has to be even a comparatively greater positive engagement for the soul. Because if the soul cannot relish in absolute gratitude, then even the most perfect situation will not be lastingly satisfying. Even if we have gratitude for the relative situation, which we will have gratitude for, that situation is impermanent. It is temporary. So at some point, someone may say something that makes me feel bad, or something in my health will fail, or something will come up. So even in the best scenario, what to speak about the most difficult scenarios, if there's not that appreciation on a spiritual platform, then the self will never be fully satisfied. And yet we can see from the example in 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam with Sri Prahlad Maharaj, even if one is in the worst of external circumstances, if they're able to maintain a spiritual gratitude, an absolute gratitude for ultimately Krishna, then that connection, that pleasure, that nourishment of the soul can make them feel blissful, even in a difficult circumstance like that. Which is why Prabhupada writes that the devotee does not care if he is in the heavenly planets or in the hellish planets. It makes no difference. Why? Because whatever circumstance, if he is able to remember Krishna and able to engage in that relationship with Krishna, of appreciating the qualities of Krishna and talking about Krishna, remembering Krishna and serving Krishna in this way, then there is that satisfaction of the soul, that nourishment is present. And so it is such an excellent advertisement for us to cultivate appreciation for the qualities of Krishna, not as something that's a dry regiment, not as something that's imposed by a social view or an institution, just as a self-reflective quality, a quality that's natural to the soul. Wherever we go in the world, we gravitate to that which we appreciate. Things that I like to do. Why do I like it? Because there's something about it that nourishes my heart, and there's something about it I appreciate. Even in this relative world, if there's a beautiful painting, we're appreciating something about it, a quality. Maybe it's its beauty. Or we go to an opulent house and we appreciate the opulence. Or there's some really knowledgeable person in the world. What is it about them? We're appreciating their intelligence. But if we go further in that appreciation, we can realize, Bhagavad Gita expresses this in really amazing words, that all those qualities actually find their origin in Krishna. it's really a fragment of Krishna that we're appreciating. He says, I am the strength of the strong. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. I am the original fragrance of the earth. I am the heat of the sun and the moon. And so if we're just reflective, which is why it's so nice in this time of Thanksgiving, it's time set out specifically to reflect on that which we have, the beauty that is around us. And as spiritual practitioners, I think somebody mentioned the other day, for us, every day really is a Thanksgiving. Every day is an opportunity where we can reflect and be appreciative of these qualities of the divine that are in our lives constantly. And if we develop that sight, then the entire world becomes beautiful. Wherever we go, we are seeing and experiencing the beauty of the Lord. In the colors, I was walking the temple and meditating on this, and just the colors of everything around. That fact that we are breathing, that our heart is pumping, that He is actually present in and in between every atom. If we develop this appreciation, even of the relative world, in relation to the divine, then everything becomes spiritual. Now, what to speak of when we apply that principle to His direct qualities? Recently, we were listening to Nectar of Devotion, and it was describing the transcendental qualities of Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami explains that there are unlimited qualities of Krishna, which can be categorized into 64 qualities, some of which are His kindness. In this pastime today, you see a lot of His kindness, His humility, His beauty. And this is why it's so nice when we get to see this form of the Lord, we can practice the appreciation of all of these qualities. His lotus-like eyes, His threefold bending form, that He plays the flute. These are the qualities that we can gradually begin to appreciate. And how do we do that? In this world, and as a continuing principle, even in spiritual life, we develop a taste for things when we associate with that particular thing. And even more so when we associate with those who are also appreciating that quality. So if someone is appreciating poetry and you go to a poetry group and you don't have appreciation at the beginning, if you keep going to that group, gradually you will develop appreciation for poetry. Because they were revealing to you the nectar that is within this writing and this poetic form and this description in a certain type of way. Oh, sorry. I appreciate that it's on time, but I don't appreciate that it's on time. And so if we also similarly associate with those who have that appreciation of Krishna, they reveal all of those relishable qualities of Krishna. Which is why it said in Srimad Bhagavat Gita, Talviri pranipadena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti teganam gyaninas tattva darshana. That if we don't have that appreciation, if we don't have that knowledge, what do? We associate with that teacher who has that knowledge. And Krishna answers the question before Arjuna even asks it. He says, how do we know that they are qualified? Because tattva darshana, that they have already seen that truth. They have already realized these qualities of Krishna. And they are relishing that quality within their heart. Now, I think we just kind of springboarded from the kind of call and response style of the pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam. So I will continue further by speaking how there is that appreciation generated in relationship between devotees. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the whole conversation starts at a particular layer between Maharaj Parikshit and Shukadeva Goswami. And Janita, I believe you mentioned in this morning's class, like at this stage, we're reading this verse from today in the 10th canto, Maharaj Parikshit has been fasting. No sleep, no water, no food. I guess no bathroom breaks either. I don't know how that works. Side thing. Sorry. But he's just been for 5 or 6 days now relishing this transcendental message of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And because he is so eager to know, that creates so much appreciation and so much gratitude between the listener and the hearer. So Maharaj Parikshit is hearing this transcendental message. And Shukadeva Goswami is speaking it. And Shukadeva Goswami expresses out of gratitude, out of this intensified happiness, this joy, that because you are so eager to hear, I am becoming unlimitedly more eager to speak this knowledge of Krishna. And this ras, this relationship, churns and it creates this back and forth, and it is an intensifying, magnifying principle which helps increase the amount of relish. Now, this is such an important example or idea to imbibe because in this world we've experienced the finite aspect. And so even if there is some relish or relationship in connection with something that is temporary, that relishment does not last. We experience if we listen to a certain song that we might like, if you play it 50 times over, that relish, loses its taste. And at some point we have to listen to something else. Similar if you watch a show, you may like it, you may be in a fan group about it, we're all talking about it. At some point, you will need to watch or talk about something else. It is like gum in this world, where it tastes nice at first, but then it becomes flavorless. That's the reference that we have, and that's why we have to gradually try to get a higher taste by hearing the message of the Srimad Bhagavatam with a desire to appreciate it. First, just with the desire to appreciate what is being said. With a curiosity that can this really give me the spiritual joy that it is saying? Can it really give me that satisfaction of heart that I know I've always been looking for? Can it really give that ecstatic love that all of these characters of Srimad Bhagavatam are experiencing in relation with Krishna? When we start to immerse in that, then it takes us away from the relative experiences of bubblegum, where it tastes good at first and then it becomes bland. Actually, with spiritual things, it intensifies and increases the relish, and that relishment becomes greater and greater. Okay, so now I have to make a decision. Do we explore Sudama more, or do we go to the reflection? Okay, I'm going to choose the reflection principle. The highest degree of that expression of appreciation and how it magnifies is seen in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Or at least this is the reference that I am thinking of. I heard in a lecture by His Holiness Radha Swami that there is a transcendental competition going on in the spiritual world eternally. And it goes as follows. The residents of Vrindavan, they see Sri Krishna and they appreciate his qualities so much that his smile, his laughter, the way he jokes and plays and he interacts with everybody with such love and affection, they're appreciating his qualities so much. And as he leaves, as we glorify him, Isha. Shri Shri Radha Mulida Gaura Chandra Bhagavana Ki. They appreciate his qualities so much that it brings a joy and a happiness. That happiness increases the qualities of Krishna. Because his seeing that his devotees are happy makes him happy. And him becoming happier makes his devotees happier. Because the happiness of the devotee is that Krishna is happy. And the happiness of Krishna is that his devotees are happy. And so it's just this reflection going on back and forth, and back and forth. His happiness increases their happiness increases his happiness. And Maharaj, he just kept going on and on and on, saying that back and forth just continues, and that goes on eternally. So we have this opportunity now to engage ourselves in that loving eternal exchange. And all we have to do is associate with the gratitude experienced by all of these personalities in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, to explore that a little bit further and to get more into the details of one pastime, just one pastime. In the verse today it said that the Lord considered his own offering to be insignificant, and he magnifies even the smallest service rendered to him. And thus, he derived great pleasure just in accepting this small palmful of flat rice. Now I would ask, how can it be that I can just purchase the Supreme Lord with flat rice? In one sense, yes, you can, but it's not the object itself. Pacham pushpam phalam doyam yomi bhaktya prayachiti taraham bhakta prayacham ashnami prayatatmana. In this verse, Krishna says bhaktya twice. It is the love, it is the bhakti, it is that devotion in which it is offered. That's what attracts Krishna. He is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He owns everything. There's nothing that he needs. He doesn't, externally need that fat rice to, live, be healthy or happy. He already has everything. He already owns everything. But it's sad that the one thing that Krishna doesn't have is our love. Because we have to offer that to him. It can't be taken. You can't force someone to love you. It has to come from their heart. And so we have something within us. We have that most valuable of items that can conquer even the unconquerable Supreme Person. And that is our love and affection for him. And he's saying, even if that is offered in, a small way. I really appreciate that verse for so many reasons, but one of the things in it, he says, just even offer me slight homage. Just even a little bit. And he's not even saying like an intense amount of love and devotion and affection. He's like, homage. Like, how much does that mean? Like, I looked it up and it's like respect, like appreciation. Just even offer me a little bit. Not for me, but because if you're offering that, that's the state of your heart, and you are allowing me to take care of you, to reciprocate with you. You're accepting what I want to offer you, which is my love and my care and my compassion. And thus at the end of the verse he says, surely you will come to me. I promise you this. Because you are my very dear friend. Krishna is putting his heart on the line there in Bhagavad Gita in front of Arjuna. He's saying, because I love you, And now, one might ask, okay, well, Krishna, he loves me so much. Why is it that I'm not experiencing this? Or why is it that I'm not feeling that I'm being taken care of in all the respects like this? But the matter of fact is that, one, we are. And two, to the degree that we allow his love into our lives, we will experience that love. Krishna says that earlier in the Bhagavad Gita that as one approaches me, so I reciprocate. And now every time I read that, I kept thinking, and the questions came up about this, like, so I have to do something? Like I have to do something in order to get it? I have to achieve it? I have to earn it? No, it's not like this. Krishna has been waiting from time immemorial, just waiting for that person to come back to us. I think in the morning you mentioned from Brihad Bhagavatamrita that Krishna was passing down that road in Vrindavan, and every day he would look and he'd go, when is that soul just going to come back to me? He wants us to come back more than we could possibly know. He is ready to offer us all his wealth, to put himself under our control. But it's blocked on our end. One of my mentors, Gita Govardhan, he always mentions how that relationship is blocked on our end. And an example, an analogy to give a deeper understanding is that the sun is shining everywhere at all times. And to the degree that we expose ourselves to the light of the sun, we will feel the warmth. Similarly, Krishna is shedding his love everywhere, for every living entity. They are his part and parcels. With an eternal relationship, he loves them unlimitedly. And to the degree that that soul accepts that love, they will feel that love, and they will be able to engage in that love. But if I go into the basement, forget about just closing the blinds. If I go into the basement with no windows and close the doors and turn the lights off, and I am pitch black darkness, and from that place, I'm saying, where is your love? I see it not. I don't know. I cannot experience it. Therefore, it must not exist. It gives us, it's insane, actually, how much Krishna loves us, that he's even willing to, out of love, facilitate a circumstance where we can believe that he doesn't care for us so deeply. He says, whatever the soul desires to have faith in, I make their faith strong in that, out of affection for them. I really want this because this is what's best for them, but love means choice. And so if you're choosing to do this, even though I'm begging you not to, we might have seen someone that we love and we're begging them, please don't do it. It is not for your best interest. But because we love them, we have to allow them to make their own choice. So the soul may choose to be in that circumstance. But as soon as they are ready and willing to accept help, Krishna sends his representative. He sends himself in whatever form that we can accept, through his name, through the devotee, through the book, through his prasadam. Whatever way that we're willing and able to accept the light of his love. And then someone comes knocking at the door, opens the door of the basement, and gradually allows them to peek through the window and receive that light into their hearts. As one approaches Krishna, he reciprocates. This is what that means. This is how I understand what that means. As we approach Krishna, as we approach his love, gradually saying, yes, Krishna, I am wanting to have that relationship with you. I'm wanting to begin to appreciate you. Then we feel that love. We feel that appreciation. And so in this pastime, we also see how appreciative Krishna is. Who can understand this guy? My friend has given me these grains of rice, which are greater than all the treasures I own. How much does a palm full of flat rice cost?
Depends on where you buy it. I'm not sure.
Rupees?
In rupees, yeah, in rupees. Maybe like less than 100 rupees. Maybe, I mean, New York is expensive, so maybe like $2. Krishna is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, the owner and proprietor of everything. He's got $2 in his treasury. And he says, these grains of rice, which are greater than all the treasure I own. Even though in his own house he had no such gift to bring me, he took the trouble of begging from a neighbor. Therefore it is only proper that I give him something more value than all my possessions. But nothing is equal to or greater than what I possess. So all I can do is give him such meager things as the treasures of Indra, Brahma, and other demigods. And the purport goes on to explain that Krishna is feeling embarrassed. Who can understand the mind of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He is appreciating the qualities of his devotees so much, their humility, their affection. He's appreciating their appreciation to such an extent that he feels unable to reciprocate. And thus he's feeling, Sudama Brahma, when he was first coming with this flat rice, he was feeling embarrassed. Like, how can I go to this Supreme Personality of Godhead who has 16,108, palaces, and they're all extravagant. And here I am in torn clothes, completely disheveled with just a palmful of flat rice. Pacham pusham phalam toyam, but he was offering it with such love and affection, so much deep appreciation for Krishna, that Krishna became conquered by that. So much so that even when Sudama Brahmana goes back to his house, Krishna gave him such wonderful opulences. It's described later, the palaces and the wealth and the luxurious dress. And he's feeling like this is not able to be compared to even something so seemingly small offered with such deep love. So this principle of appreciation is crucial. Now there's two last points I wanted to make before we close, and perhaps open if we have questions or comments. That appreciation in our life is a gradual process. Through the process of reading and hearing and associating, we can gradually begin to appreciate Krishna in all of his forms, in the relative world, in the beauty of the sunrise and the sunset, in the beauty and the majesty of even the human body and how it is able to operate in such a way. To speak about the universe, about how he is the sun and the moon, and how it gives life to the earth. And that earth bears foods, grains, other things by which we can sustain ourselves. So I got kind of wrapped up in that. And what to speak about appreciation for his direct qualities. When we read these pastimes and we're able to talk about how he behaves in pastimes like with Bhishma Dev, and Dhruva, and Sri Vrindavandam, and here even with Sudama. We can gradually develop that appreciation and from that appreciation, because it's in touch with the divine, who is Satchit Ananda Vigraha, the form of eternality, cognizance, and bliss. Because our consciousness touches that ananda. We also become blissful to the degree that we can relish and appreciate Krishna's qualities. And one of the main important agents of that in our lives is the spiritual master. In whatever way that the spiritual master presents themselves to us. In this case, I'll speak directly towards one's spiritual teacher in his form, the one who gives instruction. Earlier, in the 10th canto, Sudama and Krishna are at the Gurukul, the training ashram, where they're going to school, and they have their teacher, whose name is Sandipani Muni. And there was an instance, a whole very nice, beautiful pastime. Krishna and Sudama underwent some difficulty to serve their spiritual master, and Sandipani Muni's appreciation comes out. He says, "Oh my children," this is Sandipani Muni, the spiritual master of Sudama and Krishna. "Oh my dear children, you have suffered so much for my sake. The body is most dear to every living creature, but you are so dedicated to me that you completely disregarded your own comfort." And then this next translation is telling. The wording is very interesting, but it's very telling in essence. "This indeed is the duty of all true disciples, to repay the debt to their spiritual master by offering him with pure hearts their wealth and even their very lives." Now again, if we look from that, from like a relative world perspective, it's like, oh, I have to, I'm obliged. Like, oh, they gave me something, so I'm forced to. It's an institution, so I have to, pay him off or give it. It's not like that. That's not the source of inspiration. The source of inspiration is that gratitude, that deep, heart-moving appreciation that what the spiritual master has given us cannot be repaid. It is so valuable. It is so priceless that we feel that position that Krishna is expressing, that whatever I give, even if it's all my life, all my time, all my energy, lifetime out of lifetime, I cannot repay that which the spiritual master has offered me. Because Om Jnanatimidandasya, I was in the darkness of ignorance. And he has very kindly come all the way to this world, opened the door, come into the basement, and knocked and say, "You're missing out on something really nice over here. Please come." And what is it the spiritual master is offering us? He's offering us Krishna, the most valuable jewel. And throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, that is the conclusive appreciation of everyone who has realized that quality of Krishna. Dhruva Maharaj, although he started his spiritual journey with some motive and some desire of material world, when he saw Vishnu, he said, "I was desiring after broken pieces of glass, but here you are, the most priceless jewel before my eyes." When Prahlad Maharaj got the darshan of the Lord in his form of Nrsimhadev, Nrsimhadev was asking, "Please inquire from a boon. I am pleased with you. I am feeling so grateful. I'm wanting to reciprocate with you. Please ask for something." And Prahlad Maharaj is saying, I'm fully satisfied. And first, before even going further, this is not a business exchange. This is a loving relationship. I'm doing this because I feel such gratitude for you that I am wanting to give something back to you. That opportunity to serve you is the only thing that I want. But first, before serving you, I must serve my spiritual master. This is Prahlad Maharaj's words. Even Srila Prabhupada wrote this as I believe, on the Jaladuta as he was coming over, saying that my first priority is my service to my spiritual master. Why? Because if it was not for him, I would not have been reconnected with you. If if it was not for Narada Muni speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam to me, then I would have stayed in ignorance. Oh no, time is running out. And so we see this appreciation going continuously. And so similarly, when we really are taking shelter of our spiritual teachers, our spiritual guides, in whatever way that they come, we can develop that appreciation from all the things that they've done to bring this into our lives. And by our applying it, we can relish that joy and that bliss in our hearts. And then whatever the circumstance of our life, whether it be heavenly or whether it be hellish, we see that gratitude becomes their driving force. Whatever Srila Prabhupada encountered, that appreciation for Krishna and his spiritual master was his driving force. And similarly, I was thinking, what can be that fuel in my spiritual life that keeps me going in whatever circumstance? And I asked a senior devotee about one of these exalted Vaishnavas in our Krishna consciousness movement. How is it that no matter what they do, because they could have just followed the instruction technically to the T. Yes, I came over and I preached a program, I spread Krishna consciousness, finished, done. No, they're taking it to the nth degree. They're pouring their entire existence into this. And I'm bewildered, how is it that they are investing everything in their life for this? They could just be satisfied with their own practice and stay. But no, because what they told me was simply gratitude. Because they are so appreciative of what they've been given. That is their driving fuel for everything they do. And because it's on the absolute platform, it doesn't matter whether it's hot or cold, whether it's painful or pleasureful. It is that gratitude alone that absorbs their minds and has them face the greatest difficulties. So when we can similarly follow in their footsteps by developing that gratitude, it can increase by our relationship with the spiritual master, with the other devotees, with the practice itself, and ultimately with Krishna. And the ultimate, penultimate example of this, only mentioning it in the last 30 seconds, is the residence of Sri Vrindavan Dham. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, it is mentioned that we are, as bhakti yogis, wanting to follow in the footsteps of the residents of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Why? Because their mood, their relish, their style of appreciation is so intense, so immense, that it fully conquers Krishna. And it goes to the verse that Champa very nicely mentioned, where Krishna can't feel like he can reciprocate at all. And by following in the footsteps of the residents of Sri Vrindavan Dham, we will also intensify our appreciation to that point of ecstatic love. They appreciate Krishna so deeply that it manifests as prema bhakti, as ecstatic love for Krishna. And so, last finishing point, by following in the footsteps of the residents of Vrindavan Dham, who all take shelter in Srimati Radharani, who is the proprietor of love and devotion, by taking shelter of her through the guidance of our spiritual master and through our process of bhakti, that... Wait! I'm waiting. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. That appreciation magnifies in our hearts so intensely that we become conduits of Srimati Radharani's love, which is the love that conquers Sri Radha Mudita. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki. So now your devotees go
we'll have Arti and Kirtan for their lordships. We'll just move these red cushions, come forward, and sing and dance together. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Hare Ki, Shri Gaurachandra Ki, Dev Ki.
Can, if you feel like nobody else. Right? You feel like nobody else. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Kristaya Bhutale Nirvate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine
Krishna, Holy Founder Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ramacharjna Haridas Thakur ki jai, Ram Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Govina Shama Kunda Radha Kundi Giri Govardhana ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai, Ganga Mai ki jai, Jamuna Mai ki jai, Tulsi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Muralidhar ki jai, Yoga Chandra Bhagavan ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Sankirtan Yajna ki jai, Yajna Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai, Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste, Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Krishna. Thank you all again so much for coming to Bhagavat Sravanam. This happens every Sunday. Next Sunday will be Haridalas Prabhu. He will be speaking. So we very much look forward to him. And the following week, December 15th, will be Anupam Prabhu speaking. And then the following week, December 22nd, will be Gaur Sharan Prabhu speaking. And that's about as far as I have planned. So please come back. And we have a beautiful lunch, prasadam, for you in the back. Please stay and be friends with everyone. Have a wonderful, grateful rest of your Sunday.